I'm going to talk about the mental part of exercise just briefly. I've often said, and many of you have heard me say it, in order to have what we have not, we must first become what we are not. As we become what we are not, then what we have not becomes the natural manifestation of the person we've now become. In order to become what we are not, we must first be able to see ourselves, each other, that which is around us, and that which is within us. Not as we are today, but as we can become, which is the way I pray that God sees each one of us. The moment we see ourselves not just as we are, but as we can become, that's the first step of faith. We have to see it. We become a person of vision. We hold on to the vision. So we're not fighting cancer, we're improving the immune system. We're not fighting against that which is wrong, we're promoting that which is right. There's a different energy involved. One deals with fear and frustration and anxiety and depression and all these anger and negative energies. The other one is hope and purpose and joy and desire and faith and all these positive energies. So, and this is according to Dave Hall, right? This is based upon my experience. But I believe it. And I personally went through it. That's how I came up with some of these ideas. So if we're not fighting against cancer, we're promoting health. We're seeing that area as being filled with light. You know, there's light, darkness flees, right? And so many of you have heard me say this. You walk into a dark room and it's dark, and that darkness can represent cancer. It can represent a health, any kind of a health concern, obesity. It could represent an addiction. It can represent a relationship. Whatever that negative thing is, you don't like it. And so you get in there in that dark room and you are going to fight that darkness. When you're done fighting, it's still dark. But the difference is the person, the character of the person you become in the process of fighting against it. You've lowered your level of energy. You walk into that same dark room, you recognize the darkness, that's understood, you recognize it. But over here on the wall, there's a light switch. And for most of us, it's a dimmer switch. You hit the light switch and you begin to turn up the light. What happens to the darkness automatically? You cannot abide the light. Faith. So you turn up the light and the darkness begins to fade away. And you begin to see obstacles in the room that maybe you didn't see before. So with regards to a relationship, promote that which is good. Attitude of gratitude. Look for those things that you can appreciate. Focus on the good so it can grow and expand. It's a challenge. It's a test. Same thing with the cancer. If you're dealing with the cancer and you're fighting the cancer, think in terms of your immune system's job. They're the police force. Empower them. Give your body love. Fill it with love and joy and faith, and thank it. Thank it for sending out an army of white blood cells. And visualize it. They could be knights in shining armor with lances. And they're descending upon the cancer cells, and they're just lancing them, and they're exploding, they're going away. You know, they've done studies on this. This isn't my idea as far as the cancer and that type of thing. But being able to see the end result. You know, I've often talked to people who will give a person a blessing or a prayer. And I say, can you see that person healed? If you can't see him healed, why are you giving them a blessing? We don't control the outcome of anything. But we can exercise our faith. And that's what we can do. No one can destroy your faith unless you consent. Don't ever consent. But when we focus on the light and we turn up the light, I mean, we look at our world today, look at all the contention and the division and what the media is trying to do to turn people against each other. I mean, that's horrible. And it just, you cannot change a person by force. It has to be a change of heart. It really does. And as we promote love, we will start to become what we are promoting. So it starts with the vision. Hold on to the ideas that we expose it. The vision grows into a desire. We nurture the desire with prayer, meditation, affirmation, proclamation, declaration. Cancer, you have no place in this body. Depart. And then feel it. You call forth. You call forth the spirit of healing and of health. Again, all that is doing is exercising faith. It's real. It's something that's not often understood, but it's real. Many of us have heard about it. Many of us have seen it. So we exercise that. It's an exercise. Just like this is an exercise. And as we exercise that faith, it grows stronger. So the vision grows into desire. We nurture the desire. Prayer, affirmation, the desire becomes a passion. Passion compels us to action. Action creates the end result. And I ask people, where does it all begin? Simple. The vision. Ideas. Ideas affect the way we think. The way we think affects the way we act. And it also causes the body to respond in different ways. And the way we act determines our results. So if we want to take charge of our results, let's take charge of the ideas we're allowing ourselves to be exposed to every day. As we take charge of the ideas, then we can start to move in that direction. It's not that the conditions around us ever change, but the conditions within us change. So we start to respond differently to the conditions around us. Same thing with our body. It's imbued with an intelligence. I think there's a greater potential there. And when we connect with this body, we're grateful for this body, for what it's able to do. And we express that to this body. Closest relationship you're ever going to have with anybody is your own. When was the last time you talked to it? And what did you say? Think about it. Be grateful for it. But that's a long explanation.